Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We are back for another night of My Life Has Destiny podcast. I am excited on tonight. Again, I'm feeling good in my spirit. Tonight, we're talking about a journey to obedience. Oh, my God. And I have a special guest in the house. We have Auntie Cheryl in the house on tonight, and she is going to do whatever the Lord will have her to do. We give her free range. But let me just speak about that journey. And my sister Coco will be in the house on tonight. She's coming in a little bit late, but she will be here. So let's talk about that journey for a minute. When I think about a journey, I think about traveling. And when we're talking about a journey to obedience, when I think about that, I think about how I had to take a move to get back to myself. I couldn't stand still. I had to find myself all over again. So it took me going different places. It took me looking inside myself. It took me figuring out what God would have me to do. It took some prayer and some fasting. It took some tears. It took some obstacles. When I think about that journey, we have to go through so many obstacles, but we have to overcome them. We have to
Yes.
survive them. We have to become a warrior for what God will have us to do. We can't give up. We can't quit. But we can pray. We can set a
That's right.
foundation. We can have a standard. We can trust that we're strong enough to do this with Christ. We can move the way God will have us to move. We can't stay still. We got to keep moving. We got to keep striving. We got to keep perfecting. We got to keep growing. We got to keep maturing. So, with that, Miss Cheryl, Mama Cheryl, Auntie Cheryl is going to talk to us a little about her journey. I've been on this journey for a long time now, and it's
Mhm.
been a hard road. It almost cost me my life a couple of times, but
Yeah.
I thank God that He kept me because He is a keeper. Before we
That's
bring
right.
her on, we're going to play a song, and it's called He Said, She Said. He said, they said by Jacqueline Carr. And we're just going to hear what she has to say about what they said.
All right now.
They said you have it. God said it's yours. They said you wouldn't make it. But God said I'll open doors.
Mm.
They said it was over for you. But God said it has just begun. They said you might as well give up the fight. But God said the battle is already won. They told you, they pressed, they even lied on you. But in the midst of all of that, God still raised up a champion. In the midst of the hurt, in the midst of the pain, in the midst of distractions, He said you are. They said you would never be. But God says I'm raising you for my glory. They said you didn't have a dream. No. But God says you have purpose. They said this problem will never end. But God says I'm bringing you out, my child. They said you might as well throw in the towel. But God said this storm is just for a while. They come for you. They press. May have even lied to you. But in the midst of all of that, God still raised up a champion. Oh, yeah. In the midst of the hurt, in the midst of the pain, in the midst of distractions, He said you are. Yes, how many know that you are the chosen one? No matter what you go through, God keeps you. He chose you before you was even in your mother's womb. He ordained you a prophet unto the nations. Yes, you're going to have things come up against you. Yes, people are going to say you're never going to be anything. Yes, it's going to be some people that fall off and that's not supposed to be attached to your life, but you are the chosen one. Sometimes God has to set us apart to sanctify us. Sometimes God has to set us apart to mature us. Sometimes God has to set us apart just to work on our behalf. So you are the chosen one. I encourage you to stay encouraged. Don't give up. Not in this season. God is pouring out his blessings. Don't give up. You will reap what you sowed. And a lot of us have sowed a lot of good things. A lot of us have. So it's not even just about your money. You helped other people out. You sold your time. You have done something for someone. And God saw your heart. So don't give up in this season. Don't feel like you ready to throw in the towel. Don't feel like you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm telling you, he's made strong in your weakness. He chose you. He chose you. You are the chosen one. With that being said, hey, let's welcome my sister. She in the house, Coco.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
With that being said, we're gonna turn it over to Auntie Cheryl because she's been on this journey to obedience for a long time, and it was a journey. She
Yeah.
traveled some stuff, and she overcame some stuff. And y'all listen to her story on tonight. You listen to her testimony. Her testimony. It was a test for her testimony. So here she is. Auntie?
Hey, ladies. I want to thank you to Miss Coco and QQ for inviting me to be on this panel. It is truly a blessing because I don't know why y'all got me here. You know me. But
Be you.
I just wanted to just thank God for you. You know, you ladies have been, you know, backing me up, pushing me to do more and better, and being mindful. I'm just being very mindful of people, and we have to be mindful of the things that we say and we do. We can't be all demanding and pushing because we can't get anything done like that.
That's
But
right.
for me and my journey starting out, um, long time, long time. I'm a new senior, 65. I'm a new senior, but I can say this, that going through all the trials, the tribulations, all the beatings, all the treating me like I don't belong, treating me as though I'm a child. I have to have a cosign on everything that I do. And, you know, I felt like that for a long time. I really did. I was listening last night to Pastor Lisa, and she was hitting on some things that she really don't know. I mean, I was just like, I was just ready to jump in and just say, look, I'm with you on that because the things, some of the things you've been through, I've been through. I've been through the abuse. I've been through being treated like I wasn't anything. You know, growing up for me, starting at age 12, you know, getting that first beating, you know, don't know why, moving on up, my mother being ill. I'm the oldest, taking care of all my siblings. Every time a baby is born, one is attached to the hip and one at the knee. You know, so, but it's been so much. And these young girls right now that's out here in this world, it's 2020s, 2021, and so forth and so on. You're out here, you're having babies, And I don't mean no harm, but truth is truth. I'm calling it. You're having babies, no husband, dudes walking off 3 and 4 babies here and there, woman down the street, woman around the corner. She, what? I mean, nobody's teaching anybody anything. Right now, we're in a pandemic, and we're mistreating each other. Instead of us coming together, we're not coming together. We can't go to church. Some are going to church, but we can't go to church and gather like we need to. We can't hear the word like we need to hear the word. So this panel here, this platform right here is where you can come and you can get the word. If you don't understand it, type in you don't understand it. If you need help, say you need help. I'm on this road of being obedience because I was not obedient. I was not. I said if I do it my way, it's going to get done. I don't have to worry. But I done walked and beat and cried and talked, and I'm talking to the wrong person. I'm supposed to have been talking to my Heavenly Father. I'm supposed to have been talking to God about this. He is the one, the only one that's going to take care of these problems. But He's not telling me to sit down and not do anything. But I still have to wait on His word to get things done. We go out here and try our best to do the best we can. People are shutting doors. People are shutting doors. You knock on this one, you knock on that one. Doors are not opening for you. Well, I don't know about you. I just say for me, I'm going to speak about me. Because anybody else, you start feeling offended and getting tender in your heart. And it's like, why? I mean, I'm just only calling what I see, what I hear, what I feel in truth. And if you don't like the truth, then as the man say, scroll on, close it off, shut it down, remove yourself. That's all you got to do is remove yourself because I'm going to tell you the truth if you ask me. And even if you don't want to hear it again, bye. That's it. But I have been through, going through things right now, but I don't expect anyone to come to my rescue. I have to do the right thing, and that's let God handle all of this. Um, I'm just I'm here and I've been working hard. I'm out today. I went outside and I said, well, I'm going to rake up leaves and whatever. I had to do something because I was feeling stunned this morning. I was feeling just stunned. Like I got to come out of this. I got to come out of this because if I don't come up out of it, that's depression and that's Satan. If I don't come up out of this, that's feeling all lonely. That's Satan. I'm not alone. I got somebody with me every day, all day, and that's our Father. God is here every day. He's everywhere. He's in my heart. Everything I say and do, He's there. If I'm starting to feel a little depressed, I already know what to do. Call on Jesus. Call Him because He's going to be there. He's going to support me. He's going to help me. He's going to lead me in the right direction. But most of the people, when you get ready to go out here and you helping people and just because, that's what you feel that's your need to do. I'm a helper. I'm nothing else but a helper. If you need me, I will come. If you need something done, I will do it. If I can't do it, we'll figure it out together. But I'm all about supporting people. But I tell you one thing about me, I'm not a fool. I can tell you that. And believe me, when I tell you, I already know who you are, what you are before you even start asking, doing whatever you want to portray or your facade. I already know who you are. And I'm not being funny about it. If you don't like it, again, close it down, walk out the door, shut it, whatever you feel you need to do, because I'm going to call the truth. And whatever you feel about me, that's fine, because God got me. I am still His child. And all the ones that's out here in this world, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you are His children too. So I cannot just say, okay, well, y'all bad, so He don't love y'all. He love you too. He love you too, just like He loves me. And if I get out of socket, He gonna put me right back in my place, guaranteed. I'm just trying to be mindful of what's going on. I'm trying to be mindful of these young children, women, men. Last week, you guys had the men on, and they was just cackling and carrying on about the chivalry. Well, chivalry is not dead.
That's
It's
right.
just so many men out here and young men who don't know. And the older ones that's out here not teaching the younger ones what to do. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to learn. And I'm not saying that all of the men and women are acting out, but for sure they don't want to learn. They think they know it all, and you don't. Even I don't know it all. Every day I wake up and take a breath and put my feet on the floor. And as I thank Jesus for putting me and waking me, I'm learning something every day. Every day. I'm learning how to pray longer. I'm learning how to pray for my enemies more and more. Pray for those enemies every day, all day, because they need help too. Until they can come and see what their wrongs are and repent on what they've done and who they've done it to. That's it, you know. But again, it's just a blessing for this. I would have never thought in all my days of coming up as a woman that I'd sit on a panel and talk about in and everything. I'm not only a senior, I'm a widow. I'm a mother, I'm an aunt, I'm a cousin, I'm a friend, I'm an enemy to the people who want me to be an enemy. I'm all of those things. You know, I could. You want me to be an enemy? I could be all of that, but I'm
But
still the child.
but you're also an author. So tell us about your book that's coming out. Let's
My
go
book, yeah, my book that's coming out. It's about me, and it is called A Woman First and a Child Last, and it's about being abused mentally, physically, sexually. It's all in there. Raising children that which are my siblings, trying to live a life of understanding why this is happening to me and not knowing why, asking the questions to God and saying, Lord, I knew him as a child. I've known him all my life. It's just that I felt like all of these little things that were going on in my life that was I could handle it. He was too busy to take care of my situations. He was too busy for him to say, well, my father is telling me, I am to take your clothes off. I felt that situation was too busy for God to handle, so I would handle it. You're a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old girl growing up, and you don't know anything about life. You're just growing up. You want to be daddy's girl. You want to be the best little girl you can be. But all in all, this man is looking at you or looking at me. I'm just going to say me because it was me in the wrong way as a daughter. I didn't know what I was supposed to be, where I was supposed to go, who I was supposed to tell. There was nobody to tell because it was always threats. He was always threatening. He was always lurking. He was always anything that I did was not good. I watched my mother lay there in the bed while he made me take my clothes off. I was so angry. I was angry. I was like, why is she letting this happen? But God knew, and God enlightened me. He said it's time for me to know what's going on because for a long time I didn't know what was going on. So what I saw and what I heard was two different things. So I could say my lying eyes or my lying ears. Not happening. They were all true. What I saw, what he was doing was wrong. And what I heard he was doing, it was wrong. And it was wrong to me and it was wrong to my mom. He was actually killing my mother. And when he couldn't do anything else to her because she had to leave the home, he started on me. And the worst thing for me, and it's hard still today, for me to be taking my clothes off at 15 years old in front of your father, standing there, just standing there, and he's sitting there looking at you. You know, it just does something to you, and give you a little bit of what he said was, take your clothes off. And I'm like, I'm not taking my clothes off. I'm 15, growing up to be a lady. And that's what I said. I'm growing up to be a lady, daddy. And he was like, so he sat there and we stood there for hours. Finally, he decided he wanted to get up out the bed and sit on the edge of the bed. Gets up off the edge of the bed and he's still sitting there. Said, take off your clothes. But I can't cuss y'all. I just got to tell you what it is. Made me take my clothes off. I'm standing there and I'm saying, I'm growing up to be a lady, a young lady. And all I have on is this dress and a half slip. He said he didn't care. He said he wanted to break my neck. But I'm like, well, I'm going to still stand here. But finally, I did take off my clothes. I stood there. My mother couldn't hold her head up. And reason why he was over medicating her, she was over medicated. She couldn't save me, but I could save her. In due time, I would save her. But as a lady now growing up, he caused me to have issues with men. But I never thought to most these women out here, well, I was raped and I was this and I was that, so I turned to a woman. That was never in my mind. That never crossed my path because I knew who I was. It was just, why was I being abused and beat and feeling like that I was being disobedient? And I was a good girl. I tried to be the best girl I knew how to be, but I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. So when your father comes to you and tells you to take your clothes off, I mean, what would you think? You know? But it's just a big struggle and it gave me issues and I still suffer from them. But I got a part in my book. It's called The Red Sweater. And the red sweater is a sweater that I felt that was my protection. If I kept that red sweater on, I felt that he could not harm me. Um, but in due time, that sweater ended up still, I was getting harmed. But also, I learned I learned how to separate myself. I learned how to step out of my whole body and find a corner to get into. So while he was beating me naked and cursing me and beating me, I was just standing in the corner waiting for him to get done. So when he would get done beating me for whatever I remembered, I'd step back in my body. And most of the time I didn't remember anything because I was numb, because I couldn't believe what was happening. I couldn't believe that my father, my dad, my daddy, who helped me come into this world, he's the reason why I'm here. And you abuse your child. He abused me more than he abused my brothers, but he did me more because I guess he felt like that he couldn't beat on my mom and do harm to her anymore. Well, I was the closest thing to it, you know. And somebody taking you in the last, watching you and telling you, you're not going to be anything. You're never going to have, if you have children, you're going to have a house full of children. No man is going to want you, and I was determined not for that to happen because I am somebody. I am a human being. I am a woman. I grew up to be a woman and I had two sons and I fought really hard, guys. I fought really hard so that I would not abuse my sons because I knew that they had to grow up and they had to be men and they had to live a good life. And when those days when I felt that coming over me, something that would trigger me, a smell or something in the sky, I would have to go and shower. And I used so much hot water until my body was just steaming, just steam coming off my body because I felt dirty. I felt ashamed. I felt like that, oh, somebody's looking at me and they know what happened. Nobody knew what happened. All they seen was a little girl, a grown woman, just looking like nothing is wrong. I smiled a lot. I dressed very well. Nobody knows anything about me. But in my mind, it said they did. When I married my husband, you want to have a good relationship. You want You want that. I call it the Leave It to Beaver family because that's what I grew up on. And I thought that June Cleaver and Ward Cleaver, that's the life that I wanted. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted the fence. I wanted the two kids, the dog, and all of that. But I couldn't have it because I messed up. I messed up in the head. I messed up in my heart. I have trust issues. I don't trust the man. I don't trust what they say. I don't trust what they do. So, of course, I'm not going to have a good relationship. I had them babies. I had them babies because I felt like I had to have them to prove a point. But I love my sons. I love them with everything in me. But the last bout with my father is when he came home and he said, you know what to do. And I'm like, tired of this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. Either I'm going to kill this man or he going to kill me. But his last bout, because he felt like that I was being disobedient, and I wasn't. I was doing everything that a little girl could do, taking care of all her siblings. We had no heat. We had no lights. We lived in an apartment, big old brick apartment, and we didn't have anything. But we made it work. He would come home when he got ready to, because he had a woman that had heat, nice car. He just lived luxury. His children suffered. His wife suffered. But his last bout with me is when he threw me up against the door and asked me, was I ready to die? He put a 45 in my mouth. And he asked me, was I ready to die? And still, I was obedient and said, yes, sir. Now that's obedience right there. Disobedience would have been like, hell no. But I said, yes, sir, I'm ready. But then he had to think about that. He had to think about, you put this gun in this girl's mouth and pull the trigger, what you gonna tell him? She did it? How's it gonna look that I pulled the trigger and blew my head off, blew the back of it out? It's not. So he had to think about that. But he threatened me with that. You know, I'm my mouth feeling on a cold piece of steel. You know, and that's something that I don't know, no child, boy, girl, it don't matter, would have to go through that. You know, and this is why I feel that I need to tell my story. This is why I feel that the young girls need to know and young men need to know. If you're in a situation and you're being abused, you need to tell somebody. And my thing of it was I didn't tell anybody because he threatened to kill family members. But when I got grown is when I told the story, a grown woman to tell the story. And yes, I still went to visit him. He was sick and I still went to visit him. You know, and what person does that? You know, you wanted to go see him suffer? No, I still felt because he was my father, I would go and see about it because he was sick and I know he was being mistreated also. You know? So most women were like, I don't give a heck about old man. He do what he do. You know, but still, it hurts today. I had a husband, a first husband that I told the story to. I didn't give him all, but he knew, you know, there was something keeping me upset, something making me feel uncomfortable. And having had two sons, sex was not a very good thing for me. You know, it always played to the point where I always would feel sick. You know, it always made me feel uncomfortable. It always made me feel like that I was doing something wrong and dirty, and that's because my father said it was dirty. But it couldn't have been too dirty. You got 10 kids, man. You got 10 kids, and then you're gonna say it's dirty. And then you turn around. I'm hitting here and there with you on this, but you know, from him telling me that and telling me that I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. But you're gonna tell me if I do decide to get pregnant that I will never get pregnant because you're gonna beat me in my stuff. You're gonna beat me in my personal, my private part. I will never have any children. I won't even smell children in the air. So what? He was just what kind of person does that to their child, to their daughter? I have to grow up to be a woman. And I used to just pray and ask the Lord, please. I used to say, please turn me to a white girl. Just turn me into a white girl. Why? So I won't get beat. For what? I don't know why I'm getting beat. I was not a bad child. I did everything what normal girls do. So I didn't have a boyfriend. I ran home every day, because my father was saying like wherever I was at, in school, out of school, he could say everything I done in school, and I know this man's supposed to be at work, but he was full of hell. He was full of pure hell, and so was my first husband. He was full of hell because once I told him my story, he used that against me, and it destroyed me because I didn't know who I was, what I was supposed to do. All I know is I worked hard. I didn't sit around. He didn't take care of me. I took care of me. I worked, got a job, bought my own car, you know. But he knew if I got mad enough, he knew what he needed to do. I mean, he was a husband that we cleaned, we cooked together, did family stuff together. But I was never happy with all of that. I was never happy with that because I knew that I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable. And yes, I fought. I fought. And, you're supposed to do your wifely duties. Who says I'm supposed to do wifely duties? So this is why, like I said, I'd fight. Yes, I would fight. I tow up dishes. I cut him. I would do whatever I needed to do to make me be safe. I said, I'm not doing this. You're not going to just tell me what I have to do. Men think that y'all stand on our backs because just because we don't work or we got those wives that stay at home, those wives work. They cook, they clean, they take care of our little hard-headed children. They go through certain things that they don't know what we go through because they're at work. And then they come home saying they tired and this and that, but then they want to jump on you and wear your body out. That ain't gonna work. You didn't ask me how my day was. You decided that I don't do anything. Well, when I got a job, I worked, I cooked, I cleaned, I ironed clothes. Everybody had clothes in order. Everybody had lunches. If you wanted a lunch, I got up every morning at 5:30 in the morning to make sure that everybody is good. And then I didn't have a car and I walked to work. I walked to work in the dark. Then from that, sometime I'd work over. And guess what? I'd walk home from work and do the same thing over and over and over again. My mind never shut down. I never was tired because this is what I needed to do. This is what I needed to do. But I got tired of that. And I was only doing that because of what was going on in my mind and what my father was saying to my mother. And he was coming in my head. And, I was just like, I'm just about to lose my mind. I was about to lose my mind. Yes, I went to the resort. I call it the resort because I had a breakdown. I had a nervous breakdown. And I went. And the doctor giving me all these little pills to keep you all calm and everything. And I'm like, this ain't it. Again, my body's stepping out. I told you I learned how to do all this stuff. So I know how to step out, step in, and I hated to cry. I don't want to cry because I feel like when you cry, then it feels it. I felt fake, but I know I'm hurting on the inside. I know I'm getting ripped apart on the inside, and you can't trust your neighbor. You can't trust your friends to say, this is what's going on, You can't tell who you going to tell. If you tell your big brother, who's just as rotten as your daddy was, I got beat behind that because I busted my father with a woman. But he didn't know I wanted to find out exactly because my mom in the hospital and I'm begging and pleading. But, it is what it is sometimes. And I just wanted to make sure that it was true. because he's supposed to love my mama and his 9 kids, plus 2 outside, you know. So I don't know how the world feels about, this. They say, well, you report it, they take a little paper and stuff down like this. These people don't help you. All these people do is write it down on a notepad. They come and then they exploit you, and you don't get any help. You don't get any help. Women don't get help. Some men don't get help. We don't get it because everything has got to have a process. You got to wait till something else bad happen. Well, a lot of things happen. You done beat this woman down. You done beat the daughter down. We have nothing. I can't do it anymore. And then when I did decide to say, okay, God, I'm up. I'm not going to let this person beat me down. I'm strong. And I keep it moving. I keep doing, I keep working. And I feel like if I don't keep working, that something as bad is going to happen to me. I go, now I'm grown, real grown. I'm a senior now. I'm really grown. My husband that I did meet, he died. And I was mad. I was mad as hell because he said, I'm going to live till I'm 90. And I felt he broke a promise to me. But he loved me. He emptied his pockets for me. He knew me. He just knew me. Yes, I'm a little strange. I have my own little ways about doing things, but they work for me. I'm not telling anybody else to tell their story. I'm not telling anybody else to go out and work themselves to death, because this is my way. This is what helps me. And like I said, I still have to be mindful because I know that at any given time, that if something is incorrect in my mind, because it won't shut down, and if I feel like I'm being mistreated, I'm going to hurt you. I'm really going to hurt you. And by the time I do this, it's going to be over for me trying to re-grasp and say, well, this person was really not hurting you. But it's what my mind tells me. They're going to hurt you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. But I'm the best person that can be for you. But when you call yourself trying to do things to me, I'm going to hurt you. And I don't mind saying it. I'm going to hurt you. But I've gotten better in what I do. My husband is since, he's gone, but my heart breaks. His birthday is coming up soon, and my heart breaks because we would have been together. It would have been 12 years, and he died of cancer. But the thing about it is that he loved me so. I felt that he loved me so. He gave me the honors of dying in my arms. And that's what I have, of him dying in my arms. I have that love because he knew who I was. He never judged me. He never treated me like I was nothing. He knew, the abuse. He knew that, yeah, she's a little strange, but it wasn't about sex, and he knew that. And the thing about that is, for me, sex is not what makes your marriage, your relationships. It doesn't do that. You got to have a mind to think. You got to have a good heart. You got to be willing to work with the little things and know that those little things are just little things. And when you need to work them out, you work them out. If you don't want to work them out, then again, out the door, close the shades, get in your car, whatever you need to do, bye. That's where it needs to go, But, and I've had dates with guys, but they wasn't up to par. You see, you're not supposed to judge them with the person you was before. I didn't. I just knew they wasn't for me. I need a man that's a strong man. I need a man that knows what to do, how to do. I don't need nobody that's going to be wimping around lazy. I don't need a lazy man. You got to have energy. You got to be able to do. You got to be able to have a conversation. You know, they got men out here nowadays that don't know how to have a conversation. They just sitting there like a bump on a log. Can't do it. You got to get up. You just do. You know, and then when you when you have them, they walk around thinking they so much better than you are. I mean, they going to the salon with you. I don't mind that, but he get his nails done and my toes and your toes done too. Come on, y'all. Sitting up here, talking about you want your nails with some polish on. You get
Oh,
your feet scrubbed, toenails fine. We walking out together. Shine look like little shiny nickels. I'm your nails shining, mine shining. You going your way and I'm going my way. Come
oh
on
my
now.
God.
Really?
Oh my
Okay.
God.
You understand it. I understand that we want to look good. Men have gotten to the point, and I'm sorry, man, but it's true. Some of y'all are doing it. Y'all got to the point where y'all want roses too. I'm not spending my money on you like that. You want dinner, roses, and your nails done.
Oh.
So what can I say? Say what you will, but it's true. Shoot, I dated a guy who was like, I might want some roses. And I'm just gonna be honest. And I said, well, what are you, a bitch? I sure did. I said, you know what? I just wanted to know. I asked the question.
Oh.
I'm like, what in the world? I don't mind. Like I said, I do what I do. That's what my mind said, ask, and I said, so what are you?
Oh.
Y'all okay? I'm okay.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, here we are. You know,
Woo.
and they sit
Mm.
around talking about, well, I don't want to dress up and I don't want to. You don't got to dress up. Because when I walk out that door and I'm dressed up, who you represent?
Oh God.
You got your little do rag on and I got mine on, and here we are.
Oh,
I'll
my
let
whole size hurt.
Well, let me let you calm down. Mhm.
You
You
touched on
calm.
quite a few things, Auntie.
Yeah,
But you
I
being
told you.
real petty tonight. You being real petty. But
No, no, I'm not being petty. I'm just saying this is what men do, and some women too. Man, I am I'm a good person. I love men. I like a good man, a clean man. I tell you exactly what I want from you. You know, um, I'm all there to support you. When I love you, I love hard. When you need my help, I'm there with you, beside you, standing with you in every way.
oh
I
my
am.
goodness.
But, like I said, it's a hard road and a long journey for me. I got two sons, they are grown men, and I want them to be grown men. They got families, and I want them to be family men, you know, but we as grown-ups, or say me as a grown woman, I need to have certain things in my life. And that substance has got to be, I don't need no thug. I don't need no man that's thinking that he better than me, because we came from you came from the dirt, I came from your rib. So, but anyhow, I will be your girl if you need me to be your girl. I will stand with you. I'm your ride or die girl if that's what you need from me.
Y'all hear her, right? Y'all hear her. She beautiful. Y'all hear, men. Y'all hear, right?
Oh God. Look,
But you will not disrespect me, and I won't disrespect you.
we are not playing loveconnection.com again tonight.
Not tonight, right?
Okay.
No, I'm
But
just
listen,
trying to
listen,
get that connection.
right,
Just want to be.
being real serious, you touched on a
Mhm,
lot of stuff. One of the
mhm,
things that really stuck out to me is you said that a lot of women don't go for help because of the process.
mhm,
And this is one of the biggest reasons why we started this platform, because
mhm,
a lot of people, they they come up in a household where what happens in my house stays in my house. And that's
Exactly.
why so much domestic violence goes on. And it's very important for us to break the cycle of silence. It's
We need
time
that.
for us to open our mouth and be healed. It's time for us to be a support system to each other. We need a
Right.
village.
We
A
do.
lot of people don't have that village. So, yes,
Mhm.
it is a process. A lot of times, especially back in the day, they want to see a bunch of anything. And that's why a lot of women ended up getting killed or men getting
Yeah.
killed because
Yeah.
domestic violence doesn't know a gender. So, it's so important for us to speak out. It's so
Mhm.
important for us to seek help because help is out there. Don't get
Mhm.
discouraged when it comes to the help. The help is out there. And I
Yeah.
say, look, my sister says all the time, and I did not understand this phrase. I'm going to be the one to live to tell a story.
Mhm.
Okay. And when she would say that, I would laugh at her. But in the long run, it's me or you.
Yeah.
If you coming after me, I'm not going to lay down and let you cut my head off.
Nope.
So
No.
you are going to need to do what it takes to protect yourself.
That's
Don't say
right.
Quint said go get a gun and shoot somebody. I didn't say that. I
Uh-uh.
did not.
Uh-uh.
Those are not my words.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is protect yourself. I'm
Mhm.
saying stay safe. I'm saying seek the help because help is
Yeah.
out there.
It's out there for
It's
sure.
definitely out there. And there's a lot of people that wants to help.
Yes, it.
You inbox us. We'll help.
Mhm.
I promise you we will.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're about. That's why. Let me tell you something. I went away for the weekend a couple of weeks ago. I'm in my hotel room. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's domestic violence going on.
Mm.
I hear this screaming. I hear a bang, and I'm like, oh my God, they fighting. And they're like, she's like, don't hit me. You hit me in front of my son. I ain't got to go out there.
Nope.
But
Just
my first
no.
response is to seek help, call for help, because I don't know what his mindset is, and I don't know what her mindset is. So I called for
Exactly.
help, and the cops came. But
Hmm.
we have to
That's
support
it.
each other. We have to open our mouths. We can no longer sit still and allow this to happen because guess what? When we close our mouth, this cycle repeats itself
Over and
and
over.
it continues. It goes down to our children. I seen it
Yep.
in my household. My children
Hmm.
went through it. I'm being transparent tonight, just like
Yeah.
Auntie Cheryl's being transparent tonight. Her father did it to her. It's a cycle. It's a cycle that can be broken if you
Yeah.
decide to break that cycle. We have to hear each other, even with your
Again.
children. Look,
Yeah.
a lot of kids are not going to lie about the things that happen to them. Parents, I'm telling you now, hear your children because you could save their life.
Believe
When they feel
it.
like they don't have anybody, guess what? A lot of them are committing suicide because they feel like
Yes.
nobody's going to listen anyway.
Yeah.
I was on that verge. I was that
Hmm.
child that wanted to commit suicide because I felt like I can't talk to anybody.
Hmm.
So it's so important for us to hear our children. It's so important
Yeah.
for us to break that cycle. It's so important for us to travel that road to obedience. Go through your journey without giving up.
That's it.
Don't
Because if
give
you
up.
don't, because it's just like it's just like you said today, sowing a seed. You got two seeds to sow. You either sow a good seed or a bad seed.
That's
And
right.
my thing is sowing the good seed. Because out of that bad seed, it's gonna take you out. It's
Hmm.
gonna take you out.
That's
So
right.
you have to
That's
think
right.
about what you're doing. Be mindful of what you're doing. You
Right.
know, and every day, like I said, I have to be mindful. I have to know what those triggers are, those certain triggers. People don't
Hmm.
understand when it's dealing with triggers. Triggers come, and you don't even know why it's happening.
That's right.
until you start being mindful of yourself. So this is something getting ready to happen, and I need to control this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need to get my child safe. I need to get me safe. You know,
That's right.
and this ain't just women. This is men. Men are being abused too.
That's right.
They getting the hell beat out of them.
It's true.
You know,
It's
and
so
and
true.
and and they just sitting there. I mean, they just beating them. You know, just like they not a man. So you know, if you need help, feel free. Let people know that you need help too.
That's right.
You
And
need help.
abuse is not just physical,
No.
because a lot of my abuse was verbal and mental, and it
Hmm.
almost killed me. The stress of it almost killed me.
Hmm.
So seek the help when you see it happening. Don't don't disregard it.
That's right.
And when it comes down to men, most of their abuse is verbal.
Yes,
It's not all the time that you'll find
that's
that a man is being abused physically by a female,
hmm
but they are getting abused verbally.
that's
Yeah.
right.
It is what the women or woman is saying to them, how she's saying it, how she's conveying it.
Hmm.
hmm
Hmm.
And it's a lot of verbal and mental towards a
That's right.
man.
That's right.
And again, our biggest thing when we talk about the guys is we're here to lift them up, not to tear them down.
That's right.
Exactly.
You know, what I mean, society and the world does that enough. We shouldn't be
hmm
helping it along.
That's right.
You
You know
gotta
what I
lift
mean?
all
So
up.
at the end of the day, it's about how you choose to go about what you do. And again, we've been talking about the art of reaping and sowing for quite a while.
hmm
Hmm.
And like we said on last night, you don't always reap it as
That's
soon as
right.
you sow it.
That's
Hmm.
right.
It could be
Yeah,
later on down the line, and the person that end up sowing it don't always be you.
hmm
that's right.
So you have to be careful what you do. You got to be careful how you do it. You got to be careful what you say, because your
Yeah,
words are powerful. Even even
yeah,
even your thoughts are powerful. So you got to be careful,
yeah.
because if you think it long enough, you're gonna put action behind it.
That's right. That's right. And
So
another thing that's so heavy in my spirit right now, those of you that are in a relationship and you seeing jealousy, jealousy is a negative thing.
hmm
And when they get over possessive, let me tell you something. The next step, it is abuse. I'm telling you
Mhm.
now. The next step is control and intimidation. It's
That's
all
it.
forms of abuse. Please don't disregard that behavior. Please don't look at it as it's cute. Please don't allow it. Because as soon as you start allowing that, it gets worse.
Yes, it
It
does.
may start off as, who you looking at?
hmm
Who tried to talk to you today? Who,
hmm
let me see your phone. Uh-uh.
Yeah.
None of it's cute.
yeah.
Next steps, y'all tussling. Oh, he didn't mean it. No. No. No, stop it before it starts.
hmm
That's right.
Those are all signs that's leading up to somebody getting hurt. Okay? So stop it
Mhm.
before it starts.
Oh my God, that's something. And
Yes,
I've
Fred,
seen,
understanding and knowing the warning signs.
hmm But this is the
that's
thing.
it.
Don't see the warning signs and then turn your head like it ain't there.
That's
That's
it.
right.
Because a lot of us, that's what we do. We see it in the beginning and we don't do anything.
hmm
Oh, okay, maybe it's just a fluke. It ain't a fluke.
Hmm.
Right.
You saw what you saw. You
hmm
chose to ignore it, and then you walked in it, stayed in it for 5 and 6 years. It didn't get no better. It
hmm
ain't get no better. And you sitting back asking yourself why. You already know why.
That's it, because you stayed in it.
That's right.
You
You
know,
stepped in it.
this is the thing. Um, and I don't want anybody to take what I'm finna say the wrong way, so please don't get offended. But you gotta learn how to tell yourself the truth and not lie to yourself.
That's right.
Too many times we lie to ourselves because you feel like you can't have better. You're not gonna find nobody that's gonna treat you better. But I mean,
Mhm.
let's just be real. Do you want somebody that's gonna treat you worse?
That's right.
Mhm.
That's
You
right.
know, and don't believe in that piece of a man.
Yeah,
Don't believe in that
we
piece
don't
of
we
a
don't do
man.
that. I tell people all the time, we're not gonna have the excuse me, Barbara. This is Shirley syndrome
That's
going on.
right.
There you go.
hmm
Because we not doing that. I don't share mine.
Mm-mm.
You
At
know,
all.
you can try it if you want to. You're gonna draw back a nub.
There you go.
We're not sharing over here.
That's right.
Okay. And you shouldn't do that anyway. You know what I mean? You got people that do that, and in the midst of all of that, I mean, let's just throw this out there. I've
Yeah.
watched a bunch of these shows called polyglamorous or something like that. They
Hmm.
call it, where the people get together. You decide to have one girlfriend, you get another girlfriend, you get another
Yeah.
girlfriend, and then you all decide to move in together, and everybody living happy,
No,
co-mingle
no.
with each
No.
other. First of all, you setting the schedules or who gonna be with him today and tomorrow,
Yeah. I
and
call it
then
Utah.
and then
Right?
and then all of you guys are literally having children by the same man. So we
Right.
all know that you're sleeping with the same guy. We all know that you're not using no type of protection with this guy. And at the
Sad.
end of the day, I can tell you that he's sleeping with more than just the three of y'all.
That's right.
That's it.
You just the only three that's in the same house, but they
Hmm.
more
Exactly.
outside the house. You
That's
know what
right.
I mean? And
Mhm.
that's not, and you happy with
Exactly.
that. I don't understand. And then you got these people who will take that type of lifestyle and want to try to say, well, oh, it happened in the Bible all the time.
Right.
First of
Playing
all,
with the Bible because we're not living that. This.
first of all, let's go there. First of all, in the Bible, that person had one wife and concubines,
Hmm.
but
There you
one
go.
wife. Okay. All right. So even with that being like that, even with them having that type of a life, they still had one wife
Mm-hmm.
and concubines. Those
Yeah.
concubines only came inside the house when it was something of that nature. But them concubines didn't live up in their house.
No, they didn't.
Okay. So if you want to go there, we can go there. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, I need you to do your research before you decide that you want to go there. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? You got too many
Can
people
I, as
trying
a
to
guy,
take
can I
what's
throw something
happening.
out, Coco?
Oh yeah, yeah,
On that particular issue, let's not also forget what the status of the guy was.
yes,
He
yes,
wasn't riding around in a hoopty. He
no,
wasn't. He wasn't living at everybody's house, and all the women were paying for it. That was some real stuff. He owned land. He was able to provide. He had people working out on the land, taking care of stuff, taking care of livestock. There was
yeah,
all kind of stuff that he had to do
right,
to provide that lifestyle back then. And the reason it was able to happen was because he was taking care of a whole neighborhood of people
right,
Yeah.
financially. Let's just be
right,
real. He
right,
had
Hmm.
paper, you
right,
know. And then after that, in the Bible, those concubines on most situations were offered and given by the tradition.
right,
And if you want to go back to that tradition, there's a whole lot of stuff they still need to do
right.
to live. Some of them, if they were really close to the Bible, couldn't shave any of their hair.
Right.
Forget fades and all that other stuff. And,
Hmm.
you couldn't do all that. You
No.
were living beside that particular item. So don't pick and choose what you want to do.
Right.
That's right.
Right. And again, like I said, you got too many people these days. They want to compare their lifestyle to biblical days. And
Yeah.
baby, it don't add up. Don't try to
Mhm.
use the word to fit your situation. And
Right.
it
Exactly.
happens too often. You know what I mean? People
Mhm.
will take a something from the Bible, quote it real quick, and say, "Oh, well, that is for me." No, I
No,
need
it's
you to
not.
read.
Read
I
it.
need you to read the whole thing, not just
There
that one.
you go.
Okay, read the whole thing, put it all together, and then ask yourself if that's for you or not. Because I can
Exactly.
guarantee you, once you read the whole thing, you'll change what you just said.
That's right.
And
Mm-hmm.
And Fred said to educate, escape, get safe, stay safe, protect, and empower. And
Right.
listen,
yes.
another thing, if you in abuse, and it's just stuck in my spirit right now, don't let your support system go.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
your abuser 9 times out of 10 want to isolate you so he can do what he wants to you.
And they will. If your mind is weak,
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well, like I tell people all the time, you can't have a whole bunch of backbone any other day, and then when it come down to that situation, your spine just broke.
And
Right.
Jill,
Okay, I don't feel like that's how that situation is supposed to work. I feel like if you what we used to call back in the day out in the street, if you body right now, you need to stay body.
About it.
'Cause when he come to do whatever, or he she come to do whatever they gonna do, you gonna turn your head, and everything coming out the side of your face gonna make them not want to put their hands on you.
Right.
for real.
Because it really all it does is it just takes you to stand up.
Hmm.
That's all you gotta do. Stand
Right.
up and mean what you say.
Yeah,
And half of the time that'll kill the whole situation.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you dealing with somebody that's really crazy, it ain't gonna matter what you say,
That's right.
okay?
Yeah.
Because they
Mhm.
already got plans on doing what they do. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I'm one of them people. If you piss me off and I'm real good and pissed off, I'll start laughing while you're talking. If I start laughing while you're talking, that is your cue to exit stage left. You might want to get up out my face.
yep.
Okay, so
Brothers who stay in the
I'm,
room,
I'm just letting
brothers
you
who stay
know.
in the room when women take off their earrings, you better understand
You
something
know,
about to
Let me
happen.
tell you something. A
I'm just
lot of
letting you
times
know.
the earrings is not gonna come off,
No,
but I promise you, there's a calm before the storm.
right.
Okay,
That's it.
it's a very quiet storm. So if you come at me in a wrong way, you better expect to get whatever you gonna get. Okay,
Right.
that's all I got to say. Don't. It's so important for us to know who we are, and that's what Auntie was saying. It took a while, and it took a while for me to figure out my worth, to figure out who I am, to figure out what I'm gonna tolerate, to figure out that love don't abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Love
That's
don't
right.
hurt. Love don't belittle you. Love don't
No,
talk to you any kind of way.
no,
That's not love. And we need to stop making excuses for our abuser.
Mm-mm.
that's
It's
it.
not love. The man is sick. He needs help. And guess what? You can't justify his actions.
I'm
And he
sorry.
gonna keep talking about he love you and I'm sorry and I'm not gonna do it again. No, he don't got Jesus. He not gonna hold himself.
Mm-mm.
Quinn,
Hmm? Yes,
Hannibal Lecter loved everybody he ate.
I bet he did.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So they need to understand exactly what you're saying. Hey,
Mhm.
just because they say in the word, you need to know what they're talking about, what they
That's it.
love.
That's
That's
it.
right.
Mhm.
That's it.
They
That's
love the
it.
That's
abuse. They love, and like when you mentioned the fact of isolation, I mean, the Bible already talks about, oh, I'm sorry, but that you should be in the world, but not of the world.
Of the world.
that's
That
right.
means that if I get on and I listen to rap and then I turn around and try to go to church, that
Hmm.
doesn't mean that I'm going to stumble. It does not, because
Hmm.
some people may be strong. I don't know where their spirit is, but
Hmm.
it does mean that you're being fed something that's
Hmm.
not scripture.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
That's
you
right.
can't eat from both sides of the plate. You can't be a vegetarian and then the very next moment eat a piece of steak. You literally
Mhm.
are eating. You're literally eating steak. So
Hmm.
you can't say, "Oh no, I believe the body only deals with vegetables. We need to be there. I believe." You know, but a cut of that steak won't be that bad. You know, it's like you just got to be where you got to be, and you got to understand that everything influences. When I watch a comedy, I'm laughing, but come on now, we know that they're making lewd jokes. We
Hmm.
know that it's funny that this guy is going after another guy who's going after the third guy, but it was all made in a comedy, so we get to laugh
Mhm.
about it. But we
Hmm.
know
Yeah.
that situation isn't what we're supposed to go after. You
That's
know,
right.
someone told me about one comedy that was just funny, but it was about a young lady who was with one brother and then flipped over to another brother and then came back to the first.
Yeah,
But it was funny, you
that's
know,
not funny.
and it's not, because because of being in the world, but not
Hmm.
of the world,
Of the
being
world.
of the,
Right.
you know, having that separation, we can see
Mm-hmm.
that discernment is there. And the
Hmm.
only thing that makes us not see is because we decide to close our eyes.
That's
And
Period.
put them
right.
blinders on.
And you are right, Fred. There are resources that a abused man or woman can access. Even during the pandemic, yes, the pandemic does not slow down the resources.
That's right.
There's always access. The thing of it is the problem, and we've talked about having this access before too. The problem is a lot of people just don't want to access it.
That's right.
You have unlimited access to a lot of stuff, and you choose not to use it.
But a lot of them feel like if I tell on him and I know I love him, I'm not gonna have a man. I'm not gonna have a woman.
Well, bye.
Be
bye.
alone, as
But
I
you don't
said.
have one now.
Well, bye.
You got a beater on your hand.
Right.
You got a cutter on
Like
your hand.
I said, that's when you get the 3-letter word BYE. Bye.
Ah,
That's it. That's the word.
exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, I just refuse. And I mean, now my fuse is so short, y'all. I'm sorry. I just can't. Me and foolishness are not friends. We won't be friends. We can't even really tolerate each other in the same room or building. So no.
So you gonna need one of them angels to come to you and tell you gotta stay there. If the angel ain't showed up yet and you ain't wrestled all night, you on your way out the door, right?
Because I just can't tolerate it. Like to sit in the same room and watch it. Oh no. No. I'm not going to do that. And you think I'm not going to address it. Mm-mm.
But you have to love yourself more.
First,
That's the thing.
you got to love
Love
you.
you. There's something that inside of you that's causing you to stay in it. There's something that you don't know about you, and you need to get to the root of it and love you more so that you can come out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you're allowing this. It's time to speak out and come out.
It's what Cheryl said. We struggle with loss. We struggle with not having. We struggle with loneliness, with our own ability to mess up stuff. We struggle, and it all boils down to fear. The fear. Now, I'm not saying what fear anybody has, but it's always some form of fear that stops us from doing that one thing. We're in a situation where all we know is 911 will knock us out of the park. We'll take care of the issue right off the bat. Three numbers, and we walking around with a cell phone. We can dial it from anywhere.
Right.
Yes.
But we choose not to.
Right.
Because fear blocks it.
And the reason why you got people who choose not to is because you are so called, and you're telling yourself, because ain't nobody else telling you. You're telling yourself that you're afraid of what you feel like you're gonna lose. Hell, it's already gone.
Yeah.
It's already gone.
It's
Baby, stop trying to draw something back that's gone.
It's been gone. It was gone before it started.
It's gone. First of all, there was actually nothing really there.
Right.
You told yourself that you had a relationship. You told yourself that it looked really good. You told yourself that it even felt good. You did all of that, but there was nothing there in the beginning. Okay,
and you can work it out.
Don't sit there and tell yourself, "Oh, well, it started off real well." Really, did it? Did it?
You got red signs all day.
Did it? Let's think about this. How did it start? First of all, how did you meet? When you think about how, that was already the no.
You meet at the coffee shop. That's where you're gonna be, at the coffee shop.
First of all, how did you meet? That's
right.
If you met online, God bless you and all your people. Okay? Because that right there is a number one killer for some folks. 1,000 people online all the time. They can tell you everything they feel like you want to hear, because when you're getting to know each other online, they ask all the right questions.
Right. Yeah. And then you realize they're bipolar and tripolar. I've done it. Okay. I ain't even gonna lie. Right. I met somebody online, and because I was in my survival mode, okay, we got into a relationship. That man was so tripolar. Let me tell you something. I was like, oh no, right now, we ain't doing this. We are not doing this. Talk about blood pressure up. Talking about me watching my back at all costs. No. I was like, I will kill you first. It. I,
Hold on. I don't know what happened. Fred was here.
he was.
Yes,
I
it
don't know
was.
what happened. Fred, were you going to say something because you could have interjected?
He got
I mean,
kicked out. I think.
I don't know what happened to you, sir, but you need to come back on. Thank you so much. Yeah.
But
So
yes, I mean that is such. I know people that has met people online that has had good relationships, but online can't tell you who a person
oh
is.
no, because I mean, hey, like I said, I can't say that it's not all online
Mm-mm.
dating that's bad.
Right.
Can't say that.
Oh no, no,
I
no.
can't say
My
that.
raising my hand wasn't for it was good. I
Right.
got on. I met the person online. I married the person, and I went through 10 years of marriage that did not, produce anything else. And then even after that, the person wanted to be friends. So it was more of like a little, when you live in your own world, you can believe what you want to believe.
Right.
And so it was really interesting on how that. But now I don't say that everybody online, like you said, is going to have a bad situation. There's some people who tell you beautiful stories about what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I look back, what it said, when I think back over my life, when I look back over my life and I think things over,
Mhm.
I can truly say that I've been blessed. I got a testimony.
Right. I mean, but
Right.
see, I can't say, like I said, not all of them are bad. Not all of them, because I have a wonderful story, but not all of them are bad. But some of them, first of all, when you're on some of these sites, these people are telling you they're free and they're not. They're about to be released in like a year. Okay, or something like that. And once they get released, they're coming to find you because you were it. You were that person that held them down while they were in there. You were that person that gave them that conversation. Yes. And when they come find you, it's about you for the time being. That's it, for the time being. And trust and believe, you were not the only female they were talking to at that time.
But you were their prey.
You were the convenient one. Right?
Yeah, let yourself be out there.
So let me help you out. You were the convenient one. You're the closest one. Okay. All right. So once they get done dealing with everything they got to deal with, baby, you are no longer an option.
Fred. Hey, Fred.
Hello,
Thanks
Mr.
for having us.
What's
Thanks
going on,
for
y'all?
joining us.
Yes. Were you going to say something, sir? Are you going to join the conversation?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. All right. Okay. But like I said,
Fred is also a domestic violence advocate, and he had a lot to say in the chat. So we just decided to bring him in, and I know he has some things to say because Fred does a lot behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. So Fred, join the conversation. Thank you, and please.
So I guess the one thing I guess I could say as far as domestic violence is concerned, it's you have to remove that fatal thought of thinking that's of being in that situation and assuming that the person is going to change, because they may not, and it's folly to take a chance on that. So
Exactly.
the things I mentioned earlier, educate yourself about the situation. Escape if you can. Get somewhere safe, and if you can afford to, stay in that situation where you can stay safe. Protect yourself and your children if you have them, and then empower yourself to kind of be more protective of yourself. And what I mean by empowerment, meaning, take a self-defense course. Train yourself on how to use a gun and how to use it properly. Get a CC, get a concealed weapons carry permit. These are things that I say that I think are important. But the main thing is the education part of it, because if you don't educate yourself on what you're into, then you'll never escape it. You'll never get out of it, and you'll never remain in that point of safety. To me, safety is not only a state of mind, but it's also a state of being. So if you're not safe somewhere, then you need to leave and get somewhere where you are safe. I mean,
Mhm.
there are a plethora of resources that someone can access, even in a pandemic. You know,
Mhm.
the National Domestic Violence Hotline is available for you. That's available for you. That's available for you. If you can confide in, if you can seek someone in your local clergy, like a pastor or a deacon or a minister that you can speak to in confidence. You know, if you know a friend, speak to them in confidence. They can help you. Or if you know, at best bet, you know, go to a local law enforcement officer. They'll help you. So if you're trying to get out of a situation, there are ways to do it. It's just the thing of it is putting it in a mindset to do it. Because again, like Coco said earlier, it is a mindset. You know, you people stay in these relationships because number one, they feel like they have no other place to go.
Mhm.
They feel that no one else besides that person that's abusing them can love them
Mhm.
or
Right.
can care about them or can anything else of that nature. And that's the biggest lie of all.
Right.
Because
That's right.
there are people out there that will love you. There are people out there that will help you. There are people out there that will protect you. But again, it's all about removing that fatal mindset here. You know, it starts here, and then the action, but then it becomes action. But if that person's already bored in your mind, this
Mhm.
it's crazy. It won't happen. You know. And I heard Miss Cheryl say something about men being abused. Yeah, that's regardless of contrary to popular belief that Miss Cheryl is correct. Men do get abused, and they actually get abused far worse than women do. It's just men are not really saying anything about it, and the stats prove that.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not gonna get into numbers or anything like that, but just know that it happens.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah. And to our supporters, first of all, let me apologize to you guys because we are so not on the topic we were supposed to be on. Um, so we are talking about something totally different right now, and I ask that you forgive us because we are not on the topic. But we are going to come back to that, you guys. It just won't be tonight. Um, so it looks like we're going to finish the night out with what we're talking about. So I do because I did have somebody inbox me and say I told you we were talking about obedience. Yes, that's what we were supposed to be talking about. So I'm sorry, y'all, but we got you. But again,
Yeah.
I absolutely love everyone on the panel, but I want everybody to understand. Don't be a fool. Please don't be a fool.
That's right.
I need you not to be that 4-letter word,
Yeah.
okay? Because it's too often, again, that you see it, you ignore it, and you choose to stay.
That's right.
Right.
See it in the beginning. Don't make somebody that's seasonal lifelong first and foremost. Okay.
I think one of the
Yeah.
people,
Go ahead.
Coco, I
Mhm.
think one of the people, and I want to give honor to TD Jakes because it's where I heard it. There are some of us, and probably all of us, and I'm only opening that up because it may not apply to everyone. But there's a lot to be said for generational curses.
Yes.
We've seen it's been in our family. We've got that old thing of we don't talk about what happens in our, in this house, that type of thing. And those things are taught and learned over years.
Mhm.
Now, then the person who's in the abuse starts feeling like this is how it's supposed to be. This
Right.
is how that lifestyle is. My
Mhm.
mama went through it, my father went through it, or my uncle went through it, or there's others. And they're all examples of being taught. And I love the fact that each of you women who are experts in life and can literally come with life testimony of what really happens are here to tell the truth that this isn't how it's supposed to be. This isn't love. This isn't what's supposed to happen when you wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night during the course of a 24-hour period.
Mhm.
That's not how life's supposed to be. It's supposed to be led and loved by God.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Amen.
Like Mary J. Blige said, a love that tears you down, that ain't really love.
At all.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry, y'all. I just got some of the worst news I could get while we're doing the show. But go ahead.
What?
Um, but
What?
but one of my friend's son just died. Like so yeah.
Oh, oh my.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry to hear that.
Coco, can we take a moment? Do you mind leading us in just a quick prayer for them right now? Just acknowledge them.
Um wow. Um, Father God, we come to you as humbly as we know how. We are standing in the gap for um, the Shepherd family. All I could ask is that you wrap your loving arms around them like only you know how. Give them peace in this situation. Give them joy. Allow them to celebrate the life that is now gone. Allow them to remember every good memory, every good time. Allow them to just be able to love on one another right now in this time. I ask you that you unite them as a unit. I ask you that you just kill the spirit of division that could try and rear its ugly head in this situation. I ask that if there is anything that is about this situation that is wrong, oh God, that you make it all clear, you make every crooked way straight about the whole entire situation. But I ask that most of all that your will be done.
Yes,
And
Lord.
God, we ask you right now that you cover everybody connected and just allow them to have peace on tonight. Allow them to slumber and rest into you. And I ask you that you give them an encounter with you that they will understand on tonight. Allow them to see you in the midst of the situation, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how hard it seems.
Yes,
And we
Lord.
ask you and we count it done because we know that you can and that you will and you shall. All these things we ask in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Yeah.
Yes. Amen.
I tell you, it seems like every time I turn around, somebody else is leaving. Every time I turn around,
Yeah.
somebody else is leaving, and we just talked about it yesterday that you don't know when your day.
That's right.
It's gonna come. Not a day, no time.
And again, I tell everybody this not to rush anybody into um to salvation or nothing like that because if you just feel like you ain't ready, you ain't ready. But I tell you that you're not going to lose anything by saying yes. You're not
Not
going
at
to lose
all.
anything by saying okay. And just know that to cover yourself, and that's what salvation does for you. It covers
Yes.
you to cover yourself because you don't know the day nor do you know the hour.
Mhm. That's right.
And because you never know, but I tell you guys to communicate with the people you know, communicate with the ones you love, tell them you love them every day because you just never know.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I tell my family, I say, you guys understand why I call you so much, just to let you know that I'm thinking about you, just to let you know that I love you. I'm not trying to be a nuisance because you may not be here, but I'm gonna just put it on me. I may not be here. You know,
Right.
I call and I check on Q, all the time. What you do? Oh, I'm at work. All right, I'll check you later, but I'm checking on 'em. I'm checking on 'em. Not because I want anything. I just want to know that you're okay. If you need anything, if I can get to you, I'll be there. If I can get to Coco, I'll be there. Whatever I can do, my best to help. That's what I'll do. You know, it's just too short right now. I mean, you go down the street and come back, and the
It
person
is.
is gone.
That's
It
right.
is. I mean, because you never really know. I saw it just with little close calls and traffic today. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people not paying attention,
You know,
and if you wouldn't have been paying attention with them, just the accident that it could have caused.
That's
yeah.
I
right.
mean, I literally watched one guy get ready to pull out. You can't see what's coming. You see a truck turning, and you don't know what's behind that truck, and you
Mm-mm.
get ready to pull out. Like,
Dog
I mean,
out.
it would have been a head-on collision if I wouldn't have swerved and went around the dude. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that, where it's just like, okay, it would have been a flash. And what could you have done? At the end of the day, you never really know, because you don't know how it's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen, or even why. And you have to just I tell everybody, when you get up every day and you got a opportunity and you know that you made it to the next day, choose to take that day to be better than what you were yesterday.
That's right.
Take that day to be productive. Don't just sit around on your do nothing, not doing nothing at all. Because if that's the case, what are you doing?
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's called that you are existing. You are not living.
That's
I
right.
need people to get out of their existing state and begin to live.
That's right.
Because there's a lot of people who think that they living, but when you actually explain it and they hear it from somebody else, they end up realizing, I've been existing for a long
A
time.
long time.
I have not been living.
Mm-hmm.
You
I call
get
it
out of
occupying
existing
space.
mode and get in the living mode. And I don't mean, when I say get in the living mode, that you go and take what you got and you go splurging. That's not living to me. Okay. I mean,
Amen.
use wisdom, y'all. That's not what I call living. When I say living, do something that when you do it and it helps somebody else, they can pay it forward.
That's right.
Teach somebody something. Teach yourself something new.
That's
I
right.
mean, do something productive to where when you gain the knowledge, you got something else that you can share and give with somebody else. Every day literally is a new testimony.
That's right.
And I need
Yeah.
people
The floodgates.
every day is a
The
new
flood.
testimony. You know what I mean? And you have so much access to be able to share your testimony with somebody else. You know what I mean? And it's so much in you that you'll never really be able to share it all.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But when you do, it leaves an impression, because that's all you got to do is make the impression. Somebody else gonna come behind you and do the rest, because you're not meant to do it all.
That's right.
You just plant the seed. Somebody else comes and covers it with some soil. Somebody else comes and waters it.
That's right.
Somebody else comes later and feeds it some plant food or something down the line. Somebody else comes and takes it out of the first little pot it started in and replant it. It's growing and it's producing, and it has outgrown its space. And that's where you should be. You should see yourself outgrowing the space you're currently in. And you
That's
should
right.
see yourself just going forward and becoming bigger and better than where you are.
That's right.
In the midst of that, because we as people, and I'm going to talk about our people because it's us mostly, we have a crab in a barrel mentality. Stop because you see your
Right.
brother or sister moving forward, that you want to grab them and bring them back
Bring
down
them down.
barrel, because you feel like they finna get somewhere quicker than you, or
That's
you
right.
feel like they're gonna do it better than you. Promote them, encourage them, and at the end of the day, when you get yourself started, they gonna do the same for you. Entail. We should stop dragging and taking each other down to the point of where we can't see when somebody else is going up.
That's right.
I encourage people too much. I'm not a
Yeah.
hater. That ain't even in my point. I
Right.
ain't never been a hater. Even back in the day before I got saved, I wasn't a hater.
That's
And
right.
I would congratulate you. If you felt good with what you're doing, baby, if you love it, so do I. Have fun with that.
That's
That's
it.
right. That
Have
is
fun
so
with that,
right.
because it's not me. That's you living your life, and if you okay with it, thumbs up to you.
That's right.
That's it. And that's how we should be. I see so many people doing so many things. I was like, oh wow, congratulations. Because I didn't know. If you don't tell me, how am I supposed to know?
Right.
And then when you finally tell me, you realize, oh well, I got another support system. Okay. What
That's
you
it.
got going on? How can I be of service? You know, I can do a little bit. I can't do it all, but I can do a little bit.
That's
You know,
right.
and then at the end of the day, that's all you do is you offer what you have in you to offer. You can't give somebody something you ain't got.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole point of. I mean, there's 5 people here on this panel tonight, and each of us has something different that every one of us can actually use.
That's right.
And if we put them all we put them all together, you got a nice little plethora of something that
Mhm.
somebody
Yeah,
can take and run 1,000 miles in a minute with it. Because
That's it.
that's right.
you got somebody that's been stuck, who just been sit like, how am I supposed to get out?
Mhm.
Nobody never showed me
Mhm.
how I can get out of this. Okay, I heard you say that if I educate myself on this, so let me go sit over here and educate myself on a person's mannerisms and the way that they
Mhm.
act. Okay, so that tells me one or two things. You got something going on that I can't help you deal with,
Mhm.
and we both need help. So because we both need help, I feel like you need to go your way, and I need to go mine. Because
Mhm.
there's some things that you just can't put your hands on
Mhm.
because it's not meant for you too. You not
Nothing.
Mhm.
in a relationship. Yes, communication is key, but you
Mhm.
can't be each other's counselors.
No.
No,
You can't be each
and
other's
that's
counselors.
what I say. How are you going to teach me or teach you something when you haven't even went inside yourself and checked your issues out? You know, you saying I'm damaged. Well, check you out first before you tell me that I'm damaged.
Right.
Go search yourself, search
Right,
your mind, your heart, your soul. You search that. And
right.
then if you feel like you need to come back and tell me something, well, you better tell me that you took care of you first.
All right.
Yeah,
Because I'm
that's
gonna take care of me. I'm gonna look at me and see where my faults lie and lay and whatever. I know I got some things going on, but you got the same issues, probably even worse than mine.
Woo.
And
right.
you
That a mouthful right there.
That's it. That's
no.
it.
Yep,
And
people.
a lot of times, to be honest with you, when you look
Mhm.
at somebody else's issues, the reason why that issue bothers you so much
Mhm.
is because you know you can see yourself in it.
There
Mhm.
you go.
That's
It's
Yep,
right.
all
people
there.
throw stones, live in glass
Mhm.
houses.
That's
Right,
right.
right.
You
And
know, you want to be a shoemaker.
look,
Go
There you
ahead.
go.
I tell
Go
people
on,
all the
Cheryl.
time. I tell people all the time. You better watch it with your glass house living self.
Hmm.
First of all, and you ain't used no Windex in 8 years. Okay,
Mm.
you better watch it. You better watch it.
Oh my gosh.
You better watch it because
That's it.
the outside and the inside of your glass house is real nice and dirty.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
okay.
short
It,
a
it
short
needs
story on
right.
that. Lady was saying that she told her husband, look at that lady's clothes. She hanging them out on the clothesline and they just is dingy and dirty. What? Oh, that's just horrible. You need to go out and tell her about that, or you go out there and tell her about it. Well, the next day when she got up and looked out her kitchen window, she seen that the clothes was hanging on the clothesline again. They was all nice and bright. And the husband came in. She said, you must have went over and told her about those clothes being dingy and dirty. He said, no, I just washed the windows.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Go
I'm
on, Cheryl. That was a good one.
Right. That was
That was a
proud.
good
good.
one.
Yes,
There
honey. Like,
it is.
yes. And
You
I
talk
tell
about somebody, yeah.
look, I'm telling you, I got into a conversation like that one time with
Mhm.
with a pastor who asked me how I felt about him at that current church.
Mhm.
And I really just kind of just let it all hang out because there was no filter at that time.
Mhm.
And I was just like, you know what? You can't be in the glass house when first of all you ain't washing out one window at all.
That's it.
And on top of you not washing the window, your glass is shattering, baby.
There.
You don't even realize that you got panels falling off right now. So this is not a conversation I think you want to have with me.
Mhm.
There it is.
At
There
this
it
current
is.
moment. You know what I mean? And that's where I was because I was really highly upset at that current moment. And I was still trying to be a tad bit respectful. But then
Yeah.
all respect just went out the window because I checked myself, but I had to be like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You ain't even my hold on. Wait,
That's right.
let me go ahead and X your title out the way for a
Mhm.
second. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So you need to. I
So
tell anybody before you try to ride me,
yeah,
check
I need to bring that
yourself
all
first.
the way
'Cause I'm
down.
already. I check me first. I have to check me and make sure that I'm in good standings with me before I decide I want to slide down your pole. Okay.
But that's the
Ooh,
problem. A lot of
okay.
people don't See, come back. That's the problem. A lot of people don't want to do self-evaluations, and they are in order in this season. If 2020 didn't cause you to look at yourself in the mirror, there's a problem with you. So I'm telling you now, tonight, at this moment, to go look in the mirror. Because everything that has happened, it wasn't about killing us, and it wasn't about taking people out. It was about you getting a closer relationship and finding out who you was and getting to know God. It was, and getting closer to your family. Like, stop all the foolishness. Now is not the time for it.
Not the time. We need to come together.
Michael Jackson said it the best in his song "Man in the Mirror."
I knew it.
All of y'all, yes. Listen to it. If you got to remember the words, go take it because he can't. He was on to something when he made that song.
Yes, he was.
Let's be real. He was on to something when he made the song.
Yeah.
When you listen to the words, I'm looking at the
man in the mirror, and I'm telling him to make a change.
Okay.
Yeah. It's time.
I'm telling him to change his ways. That him is you. Not somebody else. That no, it's not a poltergeist. Okay, there's not somebody else there with you. Okay, none of that. You're looking at you. Okay, you're looking at the version of you that you choose not to deal with.
That's it.
And that's
I would tell you something that happened to me in a men's ministry meeting. I was sitting there with just a group of guys. Happened to be a day that a lot of folk didn't show up. I guess it was about anywhere from 5 to maybe about 8 guys there. And I just got real where my marriage was. We were heading, in a really rough direction, most likely for a divorce at that time. And I said, man, what do I do? What do I say to this woman? We got to get back on track. And the brother looked at me and said, bro, you're the one that got to change. He said, now your marriage may not work. Your marriage may get better. That's not up to you either or. He says, you're the one. He said, he mentioned his own testimony. He said, when I was going through that, I looked to God and I asked what to do. And he said, serve me. And he began to read his word. He began to participate. He began to do outreach. And that is the difference. And that changed my life. Now, that didn't change who the person was I was with. They made their own choices at that point. But I was easy to see where things that I had done wrong and done to her. Now, the fact is that wasn't the reason that she left. That was, if you hear her say it, she was awesome, excellent. She was Michelle Obama 2 times over. But unfortunately, that's not for me to look at. That's not for me to judge. That was the decision she made. And then I have to move on. But my decision has to come from God. In spite of where she was, in spite of what she does, in spite of what she thinks about, I'm saying things about her. I'm still not talking about me. Where was I when I woke up this morning? Did I pray to God? Did I praise God for the things that he still was doing in the midst of? Sometimes we act like we just all of a sudden start starving. God left us out and we were homeless all of a sudden. No, you got one doggone problem. You got one thing on your plate. There are people around the world dealing with more stuff than you are.
That's it.
And so, amen. Get with God. You just got to look in that mirror. Michael wasn't wrong about that mess.
No,
you got to change your ways. Make that change.
Make the change.
Yes.
And that's what keeps us in our little small communities. You all talked about, ladies, a little earlier about people who think that they're all that bigger and they got things together with the people they're talking with. And a saying has been out, from the old folk, if you're the biggest fish in the pond, you need to find a new pond.
That's right.
That's it.
Because now that don't mean that the pond, you can't go visit it. They can't call you. They can do all that. but you
Yeah.
need to be in the bigger pond so that you can learn something.
That's right.
You done fill that one up. You done.
That's it.
Mhm.
When you have a support system, your support system is supposed to pull each other up. Both of you are
Amen.
supposed to glean from each other. You should be able to
Mhm.
learn something from each other. You push
That's
each
it.
other into your destiny. A support system is not one-sided. And you have to be a forever learner. You have to be able to be a servant, to want to
Mhm.
be a help. Come on now. Like
That's it.
you really have to. You have to allow
Yeah.
you to walk in your purpose. Like
Mhm.
we forget that our life is not about us. Yes, you getting to know who you are, but you live in this life for somebody else. It may be your children. It may be somebody that's walking down the street. You never know who it is.
Yes.
You're on this earth for a purpose, and we let our purpose die in the shadow. It's not too late for you to fulfill your dreams. It's
That's
not
it.
too late for you to fulfill your purpose. It's not too late for you to walk in your destiny, but you have to want it.
That's
God's
it.
not going to
That's
force you
right.
to do it.
That's it.
You have
No.
to want it. You have to
Make
make
your
a choice
choice.
to do it.
Look, y'all. I mean, I think the Bible summed it up the best. You know, that there was a part in the Bible where the Lord sent someone to some dry bones, right?
Mm.
What did he tell them to do?
Oh yeah.
He said, speak to the dry bones
Mhm.
and tell them to live.
Yes. Will these dry
Yes.
bones live?
First of all, do you know how long them dry bones had been there?
Whew.
And then he went in and spoke what the Lord told him to speak, and they
And they came
lived.
on.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I told y'all, you better get out of the place of existing, and
Yes, and better live.
and you
It's
better
time to
start.
live.
I'm telling y'all, you got too much in you that you are allowing to die.
Mhm.
Nobody else is stifling it. You're doing it.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
You're holding yourself captive.
Yeah, you can't blame
Yeah.
somebody else. It's bad. It's bad when you are your own bondage.
Yes.
That's
Mm.
it.
Not
Yes.
somebody else got you in bondage.
I'm
You
sorry, folk. I got to go to church.
are your
Well,
own bondage.
yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Right. It's like you took yourself and locked yourself up and can't move. You don't even got the key to get
That's
free.
That's it.
Who does that?
And-
Who
and-
locked their own self up and don't have the key?
The worst part about it is the key is sitting in front of you and you choose not to pick it up.
Right.
Mhm.
You look at your key every day and you look at it and you walk the other way.
Mhm.
What's the definition of doing the same thing every day and expecting different results?
Insanity.
Crazy.
Insanity.
And then let me help y'all out. Let me help y'all out. When you do stuff like that, and then you think it's okay, and you put on that facade of a smile,
That mask.
and you're trying to mask it.
Mhm.
Do you realize that you're walking?
I'm sorry. Wait. Nice plug, Quinn. Like that man.
Right.
That mask.
But do you realize when you do that to yourself that you actually are walking around in the double-minded state?
You are.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Because you don't see the fact that you are unstable.
That's right.
I did.
You know, but a lot of people don't. They don't see that as
I said, my father could, stomp a knot right about now, but when it was all said and done, eyes dried up, hair all braided up, little girl going out the door. Nobody ever knew. I looked, and I was getting the snot beat out of me. And you just,
Right.
dangerous.
Mhm.
Very dangerous.
like I said, I could take y'all to church any time of the day. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, this is something that you have to want for yourself.
That's right.
That's it.
Speak on it every day.
Mhm.
Every day.
to my
I said, I
eyes,
want to live.
but that it's not going to change until you want it.
That's right.
But ladies, isn't that the hard part?
Yeah.
Isn't that the hard part right there? We say, I've been praying for the Lord to change this. I've been praying for the Lord to change that. I've been praying. And like we keep coming back to man in the mirror,
Yeah.
the one person that needed to change it
Yourself.
was myself.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the
Because
one who
we're
needed-
praying for the
I'm the
Lord
one-
and He already did it.
He already-
Exactly.
it's just like the little scenario that I heard, or the little story I heard. The guy on the roof, it flooded, and he kept asking God, "I need you to rescue me, send me."
Yeah.
God said,
That's the one.
1,000 people by.
Right.
He
That's
said
the
1,000
one.
people by. But then when he realized, oh, you did send me help, but it just wasn't the help that I
It
wanted.
wasn't the help I wanted.
There it is.
Actually, they said that he went. One of those versions say he went to the. He actually ends up dying, and he goes to the pearly gates and goes, "Lord, I prayed to you. I asked you to send help." And the Lord said, "Who you think sent the helicopter? Who you think sent the boat? He's like, who you think did all that?" It's
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
I said that you just didn't act on it. You know, and so many times, you know, I went back to fear at the beginning. The fear stops us from doing things.
Yeah.
We know God's doing amazing things in our life. We see God take care of stuff. We go in there and don't know what to cook, and all of a sudden something pops in our mind. And now we're able to get something together out of nothing that's in there. You know, or somebody calls us at the spur of the moment, just when we were about to tee it over, and we started in a different mood or a different attitude.
Right.
God does that stuff. People don't just get stuff on their heart for no reason. There's a reason that you're on their heart.
Not at all.
Because God is delivering you.
But this is the thing about about fear. We use it in a negative manner, but it's not. Okay. We use it to paralyze us. But fear is supposed to cause you to take flight or fight. In both of those scenarios, you got to move. You have to do something. You're not supposed to be paralyzed in it. So why? When He didn't give you a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. He gave you power first.
Right.
Yeah.
Then love and a sound mind.
Right.
So in that fighting and taking flight, you got power. You got power to defeat the enemy. From the garden, he was under our feet. He said we're gonna bruise his head, but he's gonna bruise our heel. So he was under our feet. We were blessed from the garden. So why we fearing?
Right. Not only that. Let's just take it from a horror movie standpoint. In the horror movie, when you get scared, don't you see everybody taking off running?
I'm sorry.
Are
you talking about a black movie?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
In the horror movie, when they see the sound, we're not the ones that walk towards the sound.
Right.
Direction. Okay.
Right. When the house tells you to get out, you get out. You don't move in and stay up in that bad boy. No,
you get out.
Right.
It would have been a very short movie with black folks starring. Get out.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Right.
I love his connection, man. You get some powerful Wi-Fi here.
Right.
Get out. It's time to go. Got to move on.
I was watching one today, and the people moved into the house, and all of a sudden you heard a voice say, "Excuse me, but I own the house."
Not what it said. Bye.
Right.
You can have it. Here's your keys.
Like, hold that. Let me contact the real estate agent right now. No. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's all you had to
do. I just give it to and say bye.
That's it.
With that being said, this has been an awesome show tonight.
Yes,
Cheryl, we gotta say thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Wait.
And your pettiness. Yes, that's Auntie Cheryl. We gotta say Terrence.
Oh, the
Auntie
picture.
Cheryl,
Oh my goodness. Oh man, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but I hope nobody is out there to see me say this. But shoot, you almost saw a dark guy plush.
There's that bitch. All right, now.
Yes.
But
Yes,
listen, tomorrow night. Oh my God, tomorrow night we are closing out our finale of Life Before Salvation. Prophetess Prophet Shalonda Y. Williams is gonna grace us with her presence.
Oh my, beautiful.
She's a returning prophet, and she is
Mhm.
on fire. She's been in church all week.
Okay.
I don't want to miss this on tomorrow
won't.
night.
Well, I'm gonna say this before I go. Make sure that you use your gifts. Do not leave them on the shelf.
All
Take
right.
them down. Use those gifts that God has given us, because one day it's gonna be too late and we'll be walking up the gate and all these boxes belong to me
Right.
and I didn't use them. Use your gifts.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to stop preaching at the end of the show. All
Right.
right.
You know.
All right. Y'all have a good night. We love y'all.
Let me tell
Love you too.
tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I tell y'all to come on, be prepared, be ready, because she gonna be in rare form.
Yes.
All right.
If y'all don't know what it's like when a prophet is in a rare form, I promise you, you don't want to miss it. She gonna
I won't miss it. I won't.
be in rare form tomorrow, so I tell you to get yourself prepared and ready.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Amen.
Now. Amen.
God bless.
God
Love
bless.
you guys.
You
Love
all
you
have a
guys.
wonderful night.
You too.